Happy weekend, folks. $5 Top Hat Productions, and I just got in late, bring you this video. Over the last little while, there's been a few comedy of errors going on YouTube and on the internet as a whole, and just Star Wars videos and Trump and all the rigmarole that takes us away from our regular lives and reminds us that we're not as bad as we think we are. Some of us are. I see some of the responses on YouTube and on Facebook and Twitter, and you realize that, yeah, some people are really as bad as you think they are. Regardless whether they want to be or whether they don't want to be, it comes out in print. I've got two topics to go on to today. Government shutdown in the U.S. and emulation in Canada, as well as the Star Wars Last Jedi movie that we saw over the weekend. I'll start with Star Wars. There's so much chatter online about The Last Jedi now that it's almost a moot point to go on and try and talk about all the points that everyone talks about, and you can go on about Rose and Rey and the plot lines that are missing and everything else. I guess I should advise anyone watching that if you haven't seen The Last Jedi yet, there are some spoilers in my chat. One thing I would like to address, however, is the woman issue, the strength in women, the Me Too movement that may have something to do with this, or does have something to do with it. I don't see the real issue. So they put Laura Dern in the movie. That part was laughable. That would have been laughable if it was any other woman, any other man, or if they would have put a trained SEAL in that role. That part was laughable. I probably would have liked the trained SEAL better, because maybe the trained SEAL would have communicated with other people what these ultimate plans of saving the entire rebel force would have been all about. But no, let's keep it quiet and keep everybody in suspense. We're talking to the audience, not to the people in the actual movie. So that really irritated me. And then, of course, they give her this gallant exit where she, hyperspaces into Snoke's 60-kilometer long ship and blah, blah, blah. And you're supposed to feel sorry for her. I didn't. I just thought it was stupid. It ended with more stupidity. Women in the role, Rose, I really had no issue with Rose in that role. The storyline was so goofy, non-existent, didn't contribute, that I really didn't. Rose was cool. She was, for what she was in the movie, she was fine. It's not that her or her character's fault that this movie was written and directed terribly. Rey is probably one of my favorite characters since The Force Awakens, and she remains that now. I think she's clearly the new Star Wars. She is going to be the new Luke, which is fantastic. She's a great, strong character. I think the character is acted extremely well. Daisy Ridley does a phenomenal job. And again, if there's any fault in The Last Jedi, it's not Daisy Ridley's, and it's not Rey's. This Mary Kay or whatever, this other crap that people are talking about, just putting in a female to just be a female, that's ridiculous. There were some unanswered things in the whole Rey construct, I guess, in The Last Jedi, but the movie as a whole was a joke. The Snoke thing was a joke. Luke attacking Ben was a joke. Kylo Ren was a joke. It was just terrible. But for all the reasons that you'll see in the other 8,052 videos that are out there, I agree for the most part. But my point on this was the whole woman issue. And women are taking over, man. They've got their strength, they've got their footing, and globally, women are stepping up. So if you don't like women becoming more prominent in roles in movies, in government, in business, then check out that Mars mission. because, might be a good place to go, or, some other planet. But, yeah, on Earth, women are stepping up into bigger roles. They're finding their power, they're finding their footing, and they're becoming stronger, and they're becoming more independent. And that's all a part of this. I don't agree 100% with writing a movie or rewriting the 8th chapter in a movie to single-handedly take over this whole movement, which is not going to happen. I mean, I think Rey was powerful enough as it is. She stood alone after The Force Awakens, so that's my thoughts on that. I look forward to any reasonable contributions on the topic. Now, topic number 2, the government shutdown in the U.S. happened last night. The funny thing about this is a government that is, all 3 branches are completely controlled by the GOP. The Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And every tweet you see this morning is blaming the Democrats for wanting the DACA bill or kids' health. It's insane. The DACA bill was something that the giant frickin' sun-kissed president had agreed to originally, and now just suddenly doesn't want it because obviously there's some brain damage there. He passed apparently the matchbook test where you copy a picture of this box. What is the difference between a camel and a fish, and which letter comes first, A or C? And he's mentally competent now and thinks that he's a genius. Stable genius. A very stable genius. So, regardless, GOP got to step up. They're going to get slayed in 2018 politically if they don't smarten up. I hope they don't. I also hope that the Democrats change completely because they're a pile of asswipes. That's a party that you count on to counteract the ugliness and the hypocrisy and the terrible governance and the bad policies and the legalized bribe accepting. And I think of people like Tom Cotton, and I think of people like Ted Cruz, and the only thing that comes to my mind is scumbags. Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell. You people have no interest in the people that elected you. You have no interest in your constituents. You have no interest in the states that you represent. You have no interest in good governance. You have interest in one thing: taking the money that your big Koch brother, whoever it may be, Walmart, Walton family gives you, and doing their bidding. Oddly enough, that's very contradictory to what the general population is looking for. And that's clear. I mean, you passed a, $1.3 trillion bill, don't hold me to that number, on tax breaks for the rich. Against the will of every American. You forced this through in the middle of the night. And the tides have turned, man. The revolution is coming, and it's real. The revolution is real. I got to thank people like Humanist Report and Kyle Kalinske and TYT, Cenk and Anna, and I mean, one person that stands out at TYT for me is Nomiki Konst. Nomi's a killer, man. Nomi's a killer. The woman is insane. If you haven't seen her video at the DNC, check it out. She speaks the truth 100%. And she lays them all to waste. And she's 100% right. The DNC needs a complete enema. And if it doesn't get it, as far as I'm concerned, it's risking everything in 2018. Tom Perez, you got to go, brother. You got to go. You got to go. The door's that way. Not that way. That way. Go to the door. Get out. I want to see the back of your head. I don't want to see your crooked teeth on TV no more. I got to see you gone, man. You're a poison. Your ideas, your politics, your bullshit, pardon my French, you're jumping on the train when the Dems win a few elections. You had nothing to do with that, man. Nothing. You or your policies had nothing to do with that. And you being in the Democratic Party is going to be is akin to having Hillary Clinton still there. You got to go. I don't care if Barack Obama stands behind the Democratic Party this year. As a matter of fact, I could care less if he does. I really do. Barack Obama was not the man we hoped he'd be, and he proved that. I mean, he deported more people than Obama did, dropped more bombs than anyone, until they ran out of bombs. Barack Obama campaigned one way and became a totally different person when he got office. We don't need that anymore. We need somebody who's going to get into office, not accept corporate money, not take PAC money, and represent the people and do what's in the people's best interest. Get things like DACA passed, get CHIP passed. Take care of Puerto Rico. Really? Puerto Rico? Really? A U.S. state? What is going on with the government that won't take care of its own state? Man, I'm in Canada right now, and I got to tell you, looking at the politics here, in Canada, a lot of people laugh at Trudeau, and they make fun of him, and they call him Sunny Ways, and there's a lot of that kind of, the right-wing type rhetoric against a liberal person. But the guy's working for his people. He's trying to do whatever he can do. He's making mistakes, sure he is. And there's things happening in his cabinet that we got to discuss. There's conflicts of interest both with himself and his finance manager. His finance minister, Morneau, is, as far as I'm concerned, there's conflicts with him and his family up the wazoo. But, man, they're taking care of their people. Business went into the slump here when the price of oil went down. And they did what they could, Is the country in debt? Yes. But it costs money to maintain a business. Once things start to roll around and, new energy becomes available, things change, and they'll start tackling that debt. In the U.S., Puerto Rico is just treated like a scab. It's like a blister on a country where the entire state is a beautiful place, man. It's a beautiful place to be. It's, Florida could be underwater and we're treating it great because Mar-a-Lago is there, the president's winter White House, where he spends more time in 1 year than Barack Obama spent away from the White House in his entire 2 terms. But, yeah, that's enough on that. But, yeah, let's get our heads together on this. I mean, I don't want to sit here and insult people. If you're on the right, understand. Trump voters, I don't want to condescend. I feel bad for you. I really do. My reason behind that is not because you voted for Trump and I'm condescending. My reason is that you really wanted change. You needed change. You really did. I believe that most of the Trump voters needed serious change. They needed health care. They needed their jobs back. They needed the economy to come back. And he did something that not a lot of people did. Hillary Clinton dropped the ball, sat in a coffee shop, and pissed and moaned about stupid things. She ignored you, and I understand that. Trump didn't, but he lied to you. And he played to your deepest, darkest fears, and for some people, he played to their ugliest side. And he got elected. He lost the popular vote by 3 million, but the Electoral College pulled through for him, and he got elected in that. So it's a scary time. Those people need help. They still need help. I think, realistically, after 1 year of a Trump presidency, they need more help now than they did before. So for those of you out there that voted for him, it's not about regret. It's not about slamming you. It's not about condescension. It's about pick yourself up, take a look at what you want, and take a deep breath, and where do you think that's going to come from? I mean, if you think that's going to come from Trump in 2020, I honestly don't think many of you do. I really don't. I mean, fool me once, fool me twice, right? He's not going to fool you guys twice. I think you're gonna. I think people that voted for Trump are going to be a total 180 in 2018 and in 2020. So good luck to you. You can do it. You will do it. I don't want to see America become a third world country. Some terrible things are happening down there right now, and on the world stage it looks really bad, but I sincerely believe that it can pick up and it can be great. There's been a few other people that have said "Make America Great Again." Ronald Reagan said it. Don't forget that. Bill Clinton said it. And things did get a little better under Clinton, though he did some pretty ugly stuff too. So sometimes you got to keep these guys on a very short leash, and I think that's what 2018 is going to start to do. Is going to keep accountability in it. It's going to look at getting money out of politics, which you got to do. Money's got to come out of politics. As long as there's somebody there that drops that puppet string down of $1 million contribution, or the Kochs want to put, or did put, close to $1 billion into the Trump presidency. A lot of control coming out of that. You look what's happening in the Middle East right now in Jerusalem. The U.S. wants to switch their embassy. There's a reason for that. There's contributors involved in that. So, yeah, more power to you. Hats off. Peace, love, and happiness, man.